Hello my friends, welcome to Lean and Clean with Fitness Chef Christine. Today we're going to talk about cooking in bulk to make your life and nutrition easy. So we'll cook it once and we'll have it throughout the week. That is the way to make everything simple. First thing we're going to do is start with breakfast. I have 12 eggs right here. I add them to a food processor. I add some fresh ground pepper because we want to season everything. And some kosher salt or some sea salt, both are good. To that, as always, I'm always prepared. I've got my bacon already cooked off. On Sundays, I take a whole pound of bacon and I put it on a rack and I put it in the oven at 350 degrees and I just let it cook until it's crispy. The reason I put it on the rack is so that the bacon grease will fall through. Now I do save that bacon grease to cook with. It doesn't go to waste, but it helps it stay nice and crispy, and I like crispy bacon. I don't like all that wimpy bacon. Okay, so we're gonna put our top on and we're gonna give that a little zhuzh. Sometimes the top doesn't want to go on, but we'll see here. Here we go. And I'm not gonna over whip it, just a little bit. And now we're gonna add our veggies in. So I always make a big pot of steamed broccoli. Primarily because I really like broccoli and it's a good vegetable to have in just about anything. And you can mix it up. If you keep it just the steamed broccoli, you can add soy sauce to it. You can add pretty much any flavors and it's gonna be great. So we're just gonna add a couple things of broccoli in there. And we're gonna add a couple slices of cheddar cheese. Now, what I'm trying to show you is we're gonna make this as easy as we can. So this gives us great protein and we don't have to cook it every morning. And so I have quite a few recipes like this, so I'm not eating the same thing every time. You could use a ham slice and make baked eggs. You could use an avocado and bake an egg in that. So there's a million different ways to be prepared. But the point is we want to be prepared. Even if we eat the same thing every day, in fact, that's what I recommend, eat the same thing every day for a week so that you already know what you're gonna eat and you can stop and do the session. I probably sound like a broken record saying this all the time, but I promise you this is something everybody struggles with. All right, now we get that over. And just like that, then we're gonna pour it in. Move this aside. I love that it sticks to the counter and I hate that it sticks to the counter. All right, I have my pan prepared. I love these little silicone pans for the simple reason that you could just pop them out after they're done. It makes life so much easier. And they don't need any greasing, they're just ready to rock and roll. And then we're just gonna hold onto our blade a little bit and we're just gonna pour it in there. And it's gonna be a little bit chunky because it's got those little chunks of broccoli. And once it's all done, we try to even it up. Once we get it all in there, we're gonna bake it at 350 until it's nice and firm. And then our breakfast is done for at least a couple days. Now I might have 2, and if I'm really hungry, I'll have 3. And it depends on how many days worth. They're so easy to make that you can make as many times as you need to during the week. Now maybe you want to top it with a little more cheese after it bakes so they have that nice meltiness on top. It's up to you. But this is our breakfast for at least 3 to 4 days. See how easy that was? All right, I'm gonna pop that in the oven and let that bake off. It's just like a little crustless quiche, but it doesn't have all of the extra cream and everything else in there. It's just primarily an egg base. So we wanna up that protein. And the thing that I like about the sharp cheddar cheese is it also has 5 grams of protein per slice, so we put a couple slices in there. We've got our good fiber from our broccoli, and obviously the good nutrition from the broccoli. So we're gonna move on now to dinner and we'll come back to lunch. Let's talk about dinner here for a second. We're going to make a chicken bake. Now actually this could be lunch or dinner because I usually do 2 big meals and 1 smaller meal, but I always prioritize protein and fats because those are the things that are gonna help keep us lean, and that is the goal. We want to fuel our bodies and be at a lean and comfortable body weight so that we can keep moving well into our 90s. So I'm gonna open up these chicken thighs. Now, I prefer thighs One, they have better fats, and two, they are much more flavorful. If you don't like thighs, you can absolutely use chicken breast, but try it with the thighs first because it's so good. All right, so we're gonna put our thighs, we're gonna lay our thighs out here on our pan, and then I'm gonna go wash my hands so we have nice clean fingers to work with, and then we'll proceed. All right, give me a minute to wash hands. I have my impeccably clean hands now, and we're gonna go ahead and make this super simple chicken bake. All right, I love my sheet pan dinners. If you've been with me for a while, I am all about cook it once and eat it all along. So this, my friends, is gonna be another easy recipe. Okay, we're gonna start out with some salt, kosher salt, each one, because we want to have that flavor. And then we're gonna hit it with some pepper. And then I'm using this enchilada sauce. You want to make sure that you use the enchilada sauce that doesn't have a lot of processing and that doesn't have sugar. We are really committed to having no sugar. All right, so we're just gonna evenly pour that across. And what I like about this is it has a great deal of flavor. You can certainly make your own, but we're all about making it flavorful and easy. Okay, so once it's in there, just macerate it around, just flip it around, make sure that it gets in all of the parts of the chicken. Open up your thighs and flip it over. And take this extra step to do this because you want to get that flavor everywhere. Especially because I did only salt and pepper one side of it, so we want to make sure that we spread the love. Making sure that our thigh is sitting flat in our pan so that it cooks evenly. This can be a little bit of a messy process, so try not to splatter it all over yourself. Beautiful. And then it's as simple as putting it in our 350-degree oven, and we're gonna, before we do that, we're going to put some pepper jack on there, and we're gonna let that bake into our sauce, giving it a little bit of extra zing, which I really like. So just because it's quick and protein-based doesn't mean it has to lack flavor. That's, people always think, well, if I want a lot of flavor, I'm gonna have to add a lot of ingredients and have a lot going on, and that's not really true. You can get a lot of flavor without a lot of work or ingredients. Okay, my loves, I'm gonna put this in the oven and we'll come back and we'll do lunch and dessert. Okay, let's make some lunch, which you can also serve as dinner. So you could do a Monday, Wednesday, Friday chicken, and maybe Tuesday, Thursday steak. But I like to mix up flavors. We don't want the same flavors all the time. So our chicken is more along the lines of a Mexican, Hispanic flavored, and our beef is gonna be more along the lines of Asian flavored. So we're gonna start out with some soy sauce. We're gonna start out with a half a cup of soy sauce. We're just gonna eyeball it because you don't really have to be absolutely precise with this. There we go. And we're going to start out by putting some fresh ginger in there. I personally cannot use garlic because I have a garlic allergy, so I will leave that out. But if you like garlic, obviously, please put it in there. About 2 tablespoons, a good amount of garlic, maybe a couple cloves will do it. All right, I'm gonna cut up this ginger, and all I'm doing is taking the outside of the ginger off and then just slicing it really thin. We're just gonna put that in there. It's really just there more for flavor. I tend not to eat the chunky pieces, but we definitely want that flavor. Okay, so we're gonna put about 2 capfuls of this rice wine vinegar, and we're gonna grab some sesame oil. These are flavors I use a lot. I love Asian food, so for me, it's in my alley. All right, 2 tablespoons of sesame oil, some salt, which the soy sauce is salty, so be careful not to over salt it. Some pepper. We're gonna add a little bit of sesame seeds. These are optional. If you don't like sesame seeds, you don't have to put them in, but I think they are wonderful. And we're just gonna whisk that all together. I'm just gonna mix it all together, and then we'll get our beef. And I was lucky. I found it already sliced up. We're ready to rock and roll. So we are in good shape there. Just add that beef right in there. And you don't really have to let it marinate. We're just gonna toss it in the sauce because the sauce is going to bake with it. All right. And then I'm going to take some of that steamed broccoli and with another pair of tongs, I'm going to toss in some of that broccoli. Now, it's already been partially steamed. It still has a good amount of crunch to it, which is why I like to prepare it that way so that we can use it all through the week. To the side, and we're going to toss this all together. Now, if you want, you can just pop the lid on. Make sure it's good and secure before you do this, because let me tell you, I have made a mess with it before. And we're going to just shake it. Good, then I'm going to grab a sheet pan. And we're going to line that sheet pan with some nonstick foil. I like that for this recipe better than I like parchment paper because it cooks at such a high temperature that we don't want the paper to burn. So you can put this on 450 degrees or 425, depending on how you like to do it. I really like high heat cooking, so I'm going to put this right in. I'm going to spread that out nice and flat so that it all cooks evenly. It's going to go in with all that marinade. And like I said, it's a quick marinade. I'm going to add a little more broccoli to that because once it got in that marinade, it doesn't look like a whole lot. So we'll add a little bit more in there and we'll mix that in. So all those flavors marry together, and we're just going to pop that into 450 degree oven. And all of these items should get done within an hour. So our chicken will be done, our little mini quiches will be done, and our steak will be done. So I like mine to be about medium rare. I don't want to cook it to death, so that's what we're going to go for. Let me move this out of the way. And now it comes to dessert. All right, our little mini quiches came out. And how do you know they're done? Because they puff themselves right up and they let you know they're done. So we're gonna let those go down. And in the same time that I baked that, I also made my daily sourdough bread. So I mostly eat a keto diet, but I do allow myself one slice of sourdough bread a day because that is something I genuinely love. I had a bakery for many years and I love to bake, and so I'm not giving up all bread. I'm still able to meet my goals. I'm still able to fuel my body wonderfully, maintain my weight loss and weight with having that one slice of bread. So you want it to be sustainable. Now I love my waffles that I cut in half, my waffles. We'll do those coming up too. I love those because they're carb-free and they're delicious, but I still like my bread. We're gonna go ahead and make a blueberry lemon cheesecake, sugar-free, because I have to have my sweets. I have to have my sweets because my nutrition must be sustainable. So one of the things I try to do, I strength train 3 to 4 times a week. I do Pilates 3 days a week. I do yin yoga once a week, or sometimes flow yoga, it depends. And I walk. Not as much as I used to, be honest with you. I don't walk as much as I used to. I used to get between 10 and 20,000 steps a day. I have cut back on that just because I simply can't keep up with everything. And as much as I love to walk, something's gotta give. All right, now on the days where I have my grandson, I have no problem getting all those steps in. We are gonna put some lemon zest in there because lemon zest is calorie-free and delicious. I microwaved this block of cream cheese, just one block of cream cheese. I microwaved it for 30 seconds, so it is very soft. That's what we want. We want to be able to cream that block of cream cheese with no lumpies and no problems. I am putting a quarter of a lemon worth of juice into there. I am going to put 1/4 cup of allulose in there. That is my sweetener of choice. I am not a huge fan of of stevia or monk fruit. I'll use it if I have to, but I really prefer allulose. And then once we mix that up, we're gonna add our egg, and then we're going to add our blueberries. So we're just gonna beat that up a little bit. I really don't make anything that takes a long time to make because I have a busy life and I don't want to spend it going crazy trying to do everything. All right. We are fueling our activities. That is our goal, but it has to be delicious because it has to be something that we look forward to. And the thing is, I talk to ladies all the time that are hungry all the time, trying to stay within their calorie range and everything. If you're going to bed at night and you are not sleeping through the night and you're getting sugar cravings all the time, you are not fueling your body enough. I want you to fuel your body. That means adequate protein, lots of good fats like avocados, fats like fatty fish. Those good fats are really important to keeping us feeling satiated. So we're gonna beat that egg in there. And listen, I don't want you to get the feeling that I think I'm perfect at this because I am far from perfect at it. In fact, I tweak my nutrition all the time. Age, things change, just like for everybody else, things change, right? We're gonna fold in those blueberries. These happen to be giant blueberries, but if you have small ones, that actually works even better. And that's all there is to this. We're going to put this in our 350-degree oven or 325, depending on how hot your oven is. And we're just gonna take our 1/4 cup scoop. Scoop it up if your blueberries get too chunky. Now you can fill that in. And again, I like these silicone molds because they're very easy to get everything out of and you don't have to pre-grease them. That one has a lot of blueberries. So it should make 5 or 6 of them depending on how full you fill them up. But sometimes I'll eat these as an extra part of my breakfast. I need something sweet in the morning. I tend to eat more sweet stuff in the evening or when I feel like I'm in motion, rather than my evening meal is usually my least big meal because I want to make sure that I'm fueling my body when I'm moving the most. And I encourage you to do the same. All right, I think we got this. We're gonna put this in the oven. It takes about 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, just until they're set. And then we refrigerate them and they're ready to go. I'll show you what they look like. All right, so when they're done, because like I said, I like to have things on hand that I can grab and go. I'll show you what they look like. So when they're done, they're just these nice little cheesecake bites. Look how pretty that is. And it is so good. The thing about allulose is not as sweet as sugar, but it has 0 calories. And it has no effect on your insulin level. So it is a much better choice than sugar, but you'll see that it's not overly sweet. Even though we put a 1/4 cup in there, you'll barely taste the sweetness. What you will taste are those yummy blueberries and that little hint of lemon. So I hope that you'll make that and tell me what you think, because that's why I share these things. But more importantly, I share with you the methodology. It isn't necessarily about the recipe as it is to talk about why we eat a certain way and to be prepared, right? Meal planning is important because when you're extra hungry and you're in a rush, you're just gonna pop anything in your mouth without even thinking about it. So it has to be mindful and we have to enjoy it. What's the point of eating it if you're not gonna like it? So I want you to think fueling your body, really satiating your body, making sure that you are not craving sugar all the time. If you're craving sugar, that means A, you maybe had too much sugar and your body's just craving more, or B, you're really not satisfied, you're too hungry. So, and also when you're not getting good sufficient sleep, your body is going to crave more sugar. So let's get all that under control, keeping our cortisol levels so that we're not feeling all that stress and going crazy. Making sure we get good movement in there so that our fuel doesn't go to waste. We want to keep it burning. And making ourselves feel as best we can at all times. It's super important. All right, I'm going to show you what the chicken looks like and what the steak looks like just as soon as it's done, so I'll be back. Our steak is done. Now let's be honest, pretty food tastes better, right? So we're going to go ahead and put it in a really pretty bowl. all that happy yumminess in there. And maybe you just want to reserve some of the sauce or cook it down so it's a little thicker. You can definitely put it in a pan and bring it to a boil. Add a little bit of cornstarch to it and thicken it up. But I don't mind it just the way it is. Now I may serve it with a little palmini rice or some skinny pasta rice. Just a little extra veggies in there. But I'm happy just like this. It tastes great. You can take a little bite. It's super hot though. Whew, very hot. So much flavor. And what? It took us maybe 5 minutes to mix, maybe less. So worth it. So, have your food ready. I want to talk to you a little bit too about the fact that we don't always get all our veggies in there or our fruits. In a keto style diet, we don't have a lot of fruits except for berries. So, I definitely supplement. I supplement with the Juice Plus fruits and the Juice Plus vegetables. But most important for me are these omegas. So, if you're going through menopause, you gotta have your omegas. I'm telling you ladies, it makes all the difference in the world. First of all, I was spotty in taking it. I would take it when I remembered. And then I started putting it in my pill box with my other stuff. And holy cow, it was a game changer. Super bad, super crazy. My skin tag started going away. And part of that is the reduction in sugar. It's helped with hot flashes. It's helped with night sweats. It's helped with all of that. Just keeping everything in balance has really helped all of the symptoms go away. So I highly recommend. Now that's not to say I am on HRT, but it's just a very low dosage of bioidentical hormones. But nothing has made a difference like these omegas. I'll leave a link below. You can check it out for yourself. But I highly recommend that you give that a shot. All right, so we've looked at our little mini cheesecakes. We've looked at our little mini quiches, our steak, and it's just about time to take a look at our chicken. So let me pull that out and I'll show it to you. So I really cook here. It's not just about telling you what to do. Ooh, it is hot. All right, that's what it looks like. Now you want to get an instant thermometer. Looks like this one. And you want to make sure that it is at 165 degrees at a minimum, because that's how we know our chicken is cooked through. And if it's not, you can go ahead and pop it back in there. At 165, it's going to continue cooking. It's going to have some carryover cook time, so it will be nice and cooked through, and still be juicy. Those are the things that we look for. So let me our little mini quiches. In real time, this whole cooking process has been less than an hour. Me explaining it and stopping and starting to show you the different things is irrelevant. Start to finish, everything we made today was less than an hour. And it will feed us throughout the week. You can see that this is a big time saver, and it's a big money saver because you already know what you're gonna have every day, and you're not out there buying crazy stuff that's gonna go to waste. Because it happens. I mean, we all buy the bag salad and then 2 days later it's a slimy mess in your refrigerator, and you're looking at it thinking, why didn't I eat that? Now you know what you're gonna eat and you don't have to worry about it. You've got great protein, you've got food that's real, that your body can recognize and process. Food, right? Food that's gonna fuel your body and get you to your 90-year-old happy self. So my friends, I hope this has been helpful. I would love some of your feedback. I would love for you to follow and subscribe. It is free. If you are listening on Apple Podcast or iHeartRadio Podcast, know that you can actually see me cooking on YouTube or on Spotify. So that gives you an additional option to find where you can actually see everything. I will put all the recipes below in the show notes. If you do decide you want to make what I've made, they will be there for you. I wish you all many blessings. I hope that you will give us a thumbs up. I hope that you will subscribe. But nevertheless, I pray for each and every one of you. I hope you all stay healthy and happy. Shoot me any questions you might have. Much love.